All righty. Well, as more people file in, I want to get this started. So, for everyone here, welcome to our webinar for current members, prospective members. This is a webinar series that we've started in partnership with our Empire Advantage Savings Program partners to be able to talk about the New York Bio ecosystem and membership at a high level to give you a little bit more insight into all the value and benefits that we provide to our New York ecosystem, as well as some really great opportunities with our featured guest today, corporate travelers. So, welcome everyone. My name is Chris Kiesel. I'm the Director of Member Engagement for New York Bio. My purpose here at New York Bio is to make sure that as we bring in new members, we want to make sure everyone joins for a different reason, but to be able to provide and disperse the breadth of benefits that New York Bio provides, we want to make sure that anyone that joins our ecosystem is, provided and has access to every single benefit that New York and the ecosystem has to offer. So, with that being said, for anyone who is new or kind of looking to learn more about New York Bio, quick overview: New York Bio, we are the leading advocate of the New York State life sciences community. What that entails is that we unite hundreds of organizations across the state through our programming. Many people know New York Bio as the company that puts on events in New York State, but we do so much more than that. We lead the collective action and advocacy efforts not only at the state capitol in Albany, but we also weigh in on federal topics as well in DC. So, obviously, the larger our organization grows, over 300 members strong at this point, the larger our voice gets, the more impact and change that we can make in our ecosystem. We foster innovation through the policies that invest in the development of our industry. Like I mentioned before, if there's anything that's going on, whether it's at the state or federal level, we want to make sure that we're weighing in on those issues to make sure whether we're standing in opposition of certain policies or with anything that's going to be beneficial to our ecosystem. We want to make sure that everyone's voice is heard. And then New York Bio believes that all patients should have access to cutting edge cures and technologies. At the end of the day, our organization is built to help patients. As we bring up these new companies, whether it's an early spin out of our great academic institutions that we have in New York State, or any type of emerging company that's coming into our state or building out in New York State, we want to make sure that they have all of the resources that they need in order to build up, grow, and at the end of the day, get these new technologies out to be able to help patients. From the networking aspect, New York Bio, we try to put on monthly convenings. So, whether that's any of our summits or any of our small satellite events across the state, as we expand to upstate New York and Long Island, we want to make sure that our programming, touches a variety of topics, whether it's, government affairs, finance, patient advocacy. We want to make sure that we're covering everything that our ecosystem is looking to hear about, as well as learn more information. We bring in some really great speakers for our fireside chats and panel discussions, leaders in the space to be able to connect with, as well as gain their insight. So we put on monthly events, and we bring in right around 1,200 unique attendees every single year. So for people who are looking to attend any type of New York Bio event and network at a high level, meet some new connections, hopefully those connections are valuable not only to be able, for our supporting members to gain new clients, but for our life science members to be able to, move their programs forward, bring in some really good resources that can help them. So, speaking on these events, we want to make sure that everyone has, and if you are subscribed to our newsletter, we want to make sure, that you do so that you always are up to date on our upcoming events. We will be in Bio this weekend and next week. So, if you're going to be in Bio or going to be at Bio, feel free to connect with me, our CEO Jennifer, or Brian Dershowitz to make sure that we are, meeting up, connecting. We'd love to see you in San Diego. Our legislative New York Bio and Bio NJ reception in August. We're doing a collaborative convening with our neighbors over in New Jersey, in the kind of legislative space to make sure we're aligning in our objectives for helping our New York and New Jersey ecosystems. So if you are interested in that, feel free to stay attached to the newsletter every Thursday. More information will come out. Date in August, still tentative, TBD. So keep tabs on that. Our next mini pitch day is going to be in Buffalo in September. For anyone who doesn't know what that is, it's our early stage track where we bring in 10 early stage companies, which we call our fellows, give them mentorship and some valuable feedback from a judging panel, making sure that they are, refining their pitch decks, kind of clarifying their messaging and making sure that they're ready to go out for those seed funding rounds and, presentation opportunities across the country. Our Innovation Summit, September 30th, lock that in. We actually have just launched our registration early bird special. Feel free to lock that in as soon as possible to make sure that you get the best price. If you're a New York Bio member or a Fellows member, you are going to get the best price possible. So make sure that you lock that in as soon as possible. That'll be at the Cure, September 30th. That is our largest event of the year, bringing in all aspects of our ecosystem. So really great event for anyone in any type of space, any vertical, any type of size. Networking reception in Manhattan, October 13th. Make sure to keep that on your calendar, just to make sure that you have that, as well as our mini pitch day, Manhattan, November 3rd. So keep all those in the back of your mind. You'll be getting regular updates on those, so feel free to join us if you are available. Leaning in a little bit into the New York Bio membership for people who have not already joined our ecosystem. Four of the core kind of pillars that we, provide as membership benefits to New York Bio. Obviously, the engagement. We talked about the convenings. We talked about all the events that we have throughout the year. These are great networking opportunities for, whether you're a supporting company or a life science company. What this allows us to do is making sure that, whatever level you're engaging us on, you have opportunities to meet people and engage with certain people that you wouldn't normally have access to on a, normal basis. So that kind of leads into the third point of our business development. So whether it's at our events or whether it's, on a normal, Wednesday like today, we want to make sure that any and all of our members have access to be able to, meet and, introduce themselves to certain members or people in our ecosystem. So what that gives us the ability to do is, if anyone's interested in meeting anyone else, we can absolutely, between me, our CEO Jennifer, or Brian, make sure that we are making those introductions for you rather than just kind of sending out emails and saying, let's see if this person, will respond to an email that's sent from a random person on a Wednesday. So we want to make sure that we are connecting the dots in our ecosystem, and if there's anyone that can benefit your company or having a good business relationship, we want to make sure that we're fostering those collaborative efforts. Next, for the marketing communication aspect, not only for supporting companies, for life science companies as well, we have these marketing communications and visibility benefits. So like I mentioned before, we do have our newsletter that hits right around 20,000 people in our ecosystem across the country every Thursday. So what this allows you to do, and for a membership benefit, we give our members access to put any type of information, whether it's member news, case studies, if you just received seed funding or any type of milestone that you've reached. We want to make sure that we're communicating that with the broader ecosystem. So if there's any opportunity that you want to share with the New York and beyond ecosystems, feel free to connect with me or send it to our newsletter alias. It's newsletter@newyorkbio.org. Feel free to send any information there, as well as our supporting members. If you're a new, law practice, accounting practice, really any type of, we call it the businesses that make life science work. If there is an opportunity where you can provide any type of, product or service to our life sciences community, we want to make sure that we're giving you a platform to be able to, share how you can benefit the ecosystem and how to get in contact with you. So feel free to share all that information for the supporting companies as well, and we'll make sure to include that in our newsletter. And finally, and certainly not least, we have our purchasing group. So this is where a lot of our, and really all of the ecosystem utilizes this. It's not that, funding has been any easier to get over the last 5 or 6 years, but we want to make sure that every dollar that's brought in to a company is spent and stretched to its fullest extent. So whether that's extending the runway of a company or just kind of keeping the lights on a little bit longer until you hit that milestone or that next round of funding, we have a $800 million savings consortium in partnership with Bio Business Solutions that we have provided to our New York Bio members and this saved our ecosystem right around $22 million last year. So not an insignificant amount of money. This allows companies to focus on other areas and spend allocate those funds to the sciences or any type of priorities that they have, making sure that they're making the most out of every single dollar. Um, $700 million in aggregate savings in 2025, $830 million program. So this gives even the smallest company, if you're a two-person shop out of, NYU or Cornell or, anything like that, we're giving you the purchasing power of a large pharmaceutical organization to make sure that you are getting the best prices possible. So, whether that's 75% off lab supplies, discounts off of insurance. If you need any type of insurance to be able to put up, set up shop in an incubator, we can provide those to you. Furniture, office supplies, really anything that you could possibly think of, there is a savings partner for you. So there is always a way for you to save money through this organization. 4,500 companies participating nationwide. So this is not, a secret. This is something that a lot of companies are taking advantage of, and you should absolutely at least be, have it, taped to your wall and make sure that you understand if there's anything that you're already purchasing that you might be able to save a few bucks on. We're happy to help in any way possible. So if you're thinking about if this program is right for you, whether you're a supporting company, a life science company, a patient advocacy group, an academic institution, any of the above, these savings partners have been carefully selected. These, bio selected these companies for the life sciences. So anything that people are already spending money on, we have aligned with certain partners to be able to provide the entire breadth of benefits to make sure that you're able to save money. The due diligence has been done by industry experts. This is not something that we just kind of put together overnight. This has taken a long time to be able to put together and provide to our ecosystem. And the tailored offerings are really created to suit your business model at any stage, whether you're an early stage company, a mid stage company, or even a later stage company. Everything is at your disposal. So here are a quick snapshot of the benefits, savings partners that we have provided to our New York bio ecosystem, whether that be Airgas, ALT, Aon, VWR now, Brex, Biotech Exec. Any of these that might ring a bell, feel free to reach out to me and I will make sure to connect you with the great people that we partner with. I can also, we do have a refreshed savings program packet. If anyone's interested, oh, I think I might have. Okay. If there's anyone that's interested in receiving the full benefits packet, whether you'd like to just kind of have it on your desk and, whenever you need it, feel free to reach out. Feel free to connect with me directly or put it in the chat here. We want to make sure that we're getting you those benefits and all of the possibilities of saving. So feel free to reach out to me regarding that. But on the other side, I wanted to make sure that we are pointing out the one spotlighted savings partner that we have brought in today. From all of the travel that everyone does throughout the year, we want to make sure that you are aligned with the best travel partner. And we have aligned with Corporate Traveler, and Tyler Draper is here to talk a little bit more about it. They are a great partner within our organization, whether you're traveling to bio or any of the events throughout the year. We want to make sure that our members are aligned with the best travel partner, best travel team to be able to provide, the best travel rates, hotels, flights, you name it. These guys know what they're doing. So, Tyler, appreciate you joining the webinar today. And, thanks for being a partner of New York Bio.
Thank you, Chris. Equally grateful for the partnership and truly appreciate what we built here together. And it's so great to see members, new and existing members, gathering here and really getting a refresher on all the benefits of the New York Bio membership. I always say it's like going to the gym, like you get what you put into it, right? There's so many resources at your fingertips. So we're grateful to be a part of that. What we'll focus on today through Corporate Traveler is just getting you up to speed on the member benefits through the Empire and BBS, Bio Business Solutions Savings Program. Now, this partnership means a lot to me personally because I was involved in the structure and the formation of the partnership. alongside with Jennifer and Chris, Alexis, and the team. And really, how it came about is that Corporate Traveler has been leading travel management for 40 years. And we understand that for businesses, particularly life science and supporting industries of life science, that travel is is the largest controllable expenses for a business. One of the largest items on the P&L, typically behind benefits and payroll. So being able to have a mutually beneficial partnership where we can add value, make it a bit seamless, is something that's really resonated over the last few years with our partnership through New York Bio. So I just want to thank Chris, Alexis, Jennifer, Brian, the rest of the team for the partnership and all the members that we're working with. So we can dive in a bit here into what Corporate Traveler is doing on a daily basis through the savings program with New York Bio and Bio as a whole. So as I mentioned, we started out with a couple of our key state partners and hundreds of members across the globe. But what's really exciting and special and unique with the partnership with New York Bio is that out of the 40 plus states we're partnering with through Bio, New York Bio was our first state affiliate that we worked with. And so it really set the precedent and the bar high for the other states. It really opened a lot of doors. And it was so successful that we saw our bio community really take off. So a huge thanks to New York Bio for that. But what is the why behind the partnership? So we understand whatever stage you're at, whether you're a core member who's really focusing on scaling and growing and clinical stage development, or perhaps you're earlier in the phase, you're a fellow member and you're really looking to protect the run rate and preserve resources and optimize your team, and you're wearing many hats. Or perhaps you're a supporting member where I know there's a chunk of you that may not be scientific, but you're enabling scientific organizations. Maybe you're in software or legal or consulting. What really ties us all together is that everyone's traveling, seeing coming out of the pandemic, working virtual. We're here virtually in a webinar, but being in person, there's no replacing that. And that's why, Chris, I'm excited to see you and the team at Bio in a few days at our Bio convention in San Diego. But it's really about connecting people and making sure that you're able to really focus on what you're best at. So we know that your industry really calls for compliance. It calls for savings. It calls for efficiencies. We know what it means to be HIPAA compliant. We have reporting that our customers rely on when it comes to Sunshine Act, right? If you have doctors that are traveling, you need to be able to track those dollars efficiently in one place. But then also critically save. You might have a clinical trial in Asia, or you might be perhaps your CEO and CSO is traveling around the US, really working on funding, or your commercial team is jumping at the bit because you're on the brink of FDA approval for a drug. So it's about providing a really scalable, compliant solution for you, taking the headaches of travel out of it. And that's something that we see with a lot of executive assistants being bogged down. But then we have everyone from execs to R&D and commercial travelers that really don't want to think about travel. They want to just have someone take care of it, whether it's a dedicated person or the technology. So that might be a good segue into our hybrid approach. So each of our members that take advantage and turn on the corporate travel program through New York Bio and Bio as a whole, they get access to a dedicated agent, small backup team. Some of our members are like, wow, this still exists. You still have someone you can call. It's not just AI. It's true. We have dedicated agents. They understand who your VIPs are. They answer the phone in a few rings. They proactively can manage groups or individuals. Oftentimes, we've heard from some of your members, we need a room block for 50 people for a sales kickoff. Or our CEO actually was supposed to go to Germany tomorrow, but now the meeting is being delayed and they need to stay in London for the next couple of days. So I have to now manage the unused tickets and the cancellations. That's where our agents take that off your plate, and they make sure that you're saving dollars along the way and that you're not being left stranded. So a lot of our customers are really finding the value in having someone that they can call rather than looking on 20 different websites and different airlines and hotels. We saw this really come to play with the FAA shutdowns, with flights being canceled, delayed, rather than being stranded in certain cities. Like we had some travelers in the Mid-Atlantic region that didn't realize that we could get them on a high-speed train to make it home for their daughter's birthday rather than being stuck and waiting for the flight to resume in 2 days. So it's really about giving you the tools and resources to focus on what you're really great at, developing cures and vaccines and growing your business, not dealing with the headaches of travel. So that's really where our service comes into play. The next visual that we'll show you will be really focused on the technology. We realize that having a lifeline or extension of your business for travel is key, but also technology is something that helps enable the entire program. So what's great is with corporate travelers that we don't require you to migrate away from your existing tech stack, whether it's perhaps you have Concur and you don't know who the agency is behind that. Think of Concur as like the iPhone. A lot of agencies can plug and play into Concur, or there's Art, which we're happy to work with. We have a lot of customers through New York Bio and Bio that have Concur travel and expense, and we're fulfilling the content, the savings, and the support. Or some of our customers, especially the ones that are scaling, growing, want something very user friendly that you can book in a few clicks. It's customizable. It's our proprietary platform. Think of it as it's not just a booking tool. So some of our customers will say, what's the difference between corporate travelers platform, Melon, than say Expedia or Orbitz? Well, it takes it to that extra step because there's different policies and guardrails. So maybe your C-suite can fly first class or business, and maybe the other rounds of travelers should be traveling economy or premium unless it's a longer haul flight. So we can build in certain policies and thresholds, whatever makes sense for your business. You have a direct chat where you can reach an agent right away. We have AI functionality for frequently asked questions, unused ticket applications. And then you can even see in this little visual here where the name is in that search function, we have a lot of travel arrangers that book on others' behalf. So it's about not just managing the travel or booking the travel, it's being able to seek support, apply and use tickets, but then for any of those HR folks that might be here on the call today, it's also that duty of care. So understanding where people are, if there's, let's say, a hurricane or a protest, or God forbid, something safety related, you're getting pinged, you're getting alerted. There is that corporate social responsibility that people are being looked after. And then, of course, there is that financial aspect of it where we're tracking travel behaviors, negotiating hotel contracts for you. So it's really, rather than having to dedicate someone's whole salary or time or week to travel, you're really working with corporate traveler and we're taking that off your plate and doing it in a bit more of an efficient manner. So that's a bit about the technology. I know that another savings partner through Empire and BBS Bio Business Savings Program is also Brex. So some of our customers are paying on Brex cards or using Brex for expense. We can plug those cards in. So again, you don't have to rip and replace any of your existing tech stack. Some of you may be using ADP or TriNet for HRIS systems for housing, payroll, and HR profiles. We can have that integrated into the platform. So in terms of change management, it's very seamless. So we can really build off what you're already investing in. But you are a really good company with those existing savings partners. Now, this is something that kudos to Jennifer for working with us on the commercials here. So one thing that's really helpful in terms of taking advantage of corporate traveler, I just walked you through the dedicated support, the savings, the technology and efficiencies that you gain. That we charge a pretty hefty implementation fee for that. But because you are a New York Bio member, we completely waive that implementation setup cost. So there's no barrier for entry to take advantage of our program. It's really, everyone should be taking advantage of it if you're traveling. So that's something that you can totally take advantage of. And then we do have a little nice sign-on voucher just to get you on the road traveling on us. So we really take the investment, we take the risk and mitigate that for you and make it really seamless to come on board with corporate traveler. We do charge a booking fee, one for online, one for offline. And contractually in our agreement, we do guarantee that you're going to be saving equal or more than what you're spending on those fees. So everything is paying for itself. Now, if this resonates with you, if you're thinking I'm traveling to San Diego and I wish I had Corporate Traveler's help booking bio, or maybe I'm going to be at the Investor and Growth Summit. I know it was in Miami this year. Hopefully, it's somewhere warm again next winter, or JPM in San Francisco. You should reach out to the team here with our inbox, and we can absolutely set up a call, a demo, understand what your needs are. We have very robust, comprehensive resources for you, but we want to understand what your challenges are, what your goals are, and be a true partner to you as we have been with New York Bio. So feel free to reach out to bio@corporatetraveler.us. If you'd like some travel assistance, or even if it's just a question on travel, feel free to reach out to us personally at Corporate Traveler. And we'll be at Bio Convention in San Diego from Sunday to Thursday. So come stop by our booth. We're always giving away prizes. Travel is a fun part of the experience. We're also going to be giving away a prize for those of you that joined today. Will be entered into the prize giveaway today, which will be announced after the webinar. But we really thank New York Bio and you all for taking a listen and being a true partner with Corporate Traveler. We're really looking forward to what the future has for us all.
Thank you, Tyler, and we appreciate you taking the time. I honestly, for everyone that's tuned in, I think, for, being offered, let's call it a $2,500 platform with a $500 travel voucher. We love having partners within our ecosystem that we call no-brainers. And if you can not only receive a return on an investment for your travel, which is really just kind of a sunk cost across most organizations, it's something you have to do. If you're getting a return on investment, getting access to a really great platform with 24/7, 365 service, and a $500 travel voucher, I think it's kind of one of those no-brainers. So we appreciate you, joining the call. We appreciate your partnership. And for everyone else on the call, if you'd like to connect with Tyler or anyone else on the team, feel free to connect with me or Tyler directly. We'll make sure to get you up and running quickly. And like I mentioned before, if you're also looking for the full breadth of New York Bio savings partner programs through the Empire Advantage Savings Program, feel free to reach out to us. We'll make sure that we're getting you off to saving as much money as possible. And with that, I'll take a pause there. If anyone has any questions, feel free to reach out to us directly. And in the meantime, I hope everyone has a wonderful day, and we will talk to you soon.
Thanks, Chris.